It is the Friday before gun season. You are standing at the gun shop counter with your wallet in your pocket, looking at a wall rack of brand new deer rifles, and a young fella in a logo shirt is explaining that the rifle you have hunted with for 20 years is not enough gun anymore. He hands you a flat black bolt action wearing a scope the size of a coffee thermos, and the price tag reads north of $1,200. Maybe you've been here before. Maybe you already bought that rifle and it is standing in the safe right now while the old one still rides in the truck every November. But here is what nobody behind that counter gets paid to tell you. The deer have not changed. The marketing has. Today, I am walking you through 6 deer rifles hunters regret buying, counting down to the biggest regret in the American deer woods. And stay with me all the way to number 1, because the most expensive miss of your season is almost never the rifle's fault. It is one specific thing recoil does to your body without your permission. And there is a 30-second camp test that shows you whether it has already happened to you. I'm Donna Larsen. I'm 52 years old, I live in the Northwoods of Wisconsin, and my dad Ray had me in a deer stand before I was 8 years old. I shot my first buck at 11 with his lever action 30-30, and 44 seasons later I run the same deer camp I grew up in. My freezer is full of venison every year, and most of what I know came from men who are gone now. Now, I want to be straight with you about why this keeps happening, because it is not that hunters are foolish. The gear business runs on selling $400 answers to $4 problems, and a new rifle is the biggest ticket in the whole store. Nobody makes a nickel telling you the rifle in your closet will kill every whitetail in Wisconsin from now until doomsday. So the ads work on you all summer, the counter talk finishes the job in the fall, and by January there is another safe queen standing in the corner and another good man eating tag soup. And the cost runs deeper than money. A rifle you do not trust changes the way you hunt. You pass on shots you should take. You sit stiff. You second guess the crosshairs. I have watched it happen from the next stand over, and I heard 20 years of it from behind the supper club bar, told quiet, the way men tell the stories that embarrass them. The good news is that every regret on this list is avoidable, and every fix is cheaper than the mistake. We are counting down 6 of them, starting with the sneaky one-half the fellas at my own camp have made. And hold on to that thought about recoil from a minute ago. Number 1 is where it pays off. And I promise you, it is not what you think. Now, before we get to number 6, you deserve to know where all of this comes from. The same 44 seasons behind this list went into a book I wrote called Donna's Whitetail Bible. It is 101 field-tested whitetail tricks, written for hunters who already do the basics right and still come home empty-handed. It covers the problems that actually cost you deer. Turning those nocturnal camera bucks into daylight shots. Figuring out why a good stand went dead. The 3 phases of the rut and which days actually produce. And a whole lot of cheap field substitutes for expensive gear, which is the very spirit of today's list. No gear ads in it, no $400 gadgets, just what works. Told plain the way Dad handed it to me. Right now it is $17 marked down from $47, which is less than 1 tank of gas to your hunting spot, and a good deal less than any rifle on today's list. Now go ahead and grab your phone and open up your camera, the same one you use to take pictures. Point it at that square code on your screen and hold it steady for a second. A little link will pop up, give it a tap, and it will take you straight to the book. And if you are watching on your phone right now, the link is waiting for you right down below in the description. Take your time, there is no rush at all. I'll wait right here. All right, friend, top off your coffee because number 6 is leaning in the corner of every deer camp in Wisconsin. Number 6, the package deal. The combo rifle with the scope already mounted, 1 box, 1 price, usually $400 or $500 out the door. And I want to be fair because the rifle inside that box is usually a decent rifle. The factories have gotten good at building an honest barrel and action for short money. The scope is where they save the money. That is the corner they cut to hit that price. And that bargain glass looks just fine under the store lights in July. Then comes a 20-degree November morning. You climb into the stand in the dark, your breath and the frost work on it, and it fogs from the inside where no cloth can reach. Or it takes one soft knock against the ladder and quietly loses its zero, and you find out when a buck steps out at 80 yards. 80 yards, friend. A chip shot and the crosshairs are lying to you. So if you already own one, keep the rifle and do not feel bad. Put honest glass on top of it, even modest honest glass, and have it mounted solid and sighted in before the season. And if you are shopping right now, price the plain rifle by itself and spend the difference on the scope. The glass only has one job, and that is to tell you the truth. Number 5 will not show itself in the store at all. It waits, and it bites the week before the opener. Number 5, the orphan caliber. Every few years, some clever new cartridge arrives with a magazine cover and a pile of promises, and a fella buys a rifle chambered for it. The rifle is fine. The cartridge might even be fine. But walk into the hardware store in any small town the Thursday before opening day and look at the ammunition shelf. You will find 30-06. You will find 270, 30-30, 243, and 308 stacked deep because those cartridges have fed deer camps for generations. Your clever new cartridge, if they carry it at all, is one dusty box on the top shelf. And the year the shelves run thin, it is no box at all. I have listened to grown men at the supper club mourn good rifles they traded away over exactly that. So before you buy any deer rifle, run the ammo aisle test. Drive to the store you actually shop at. Walk to the shelf, look for your caliber in quantity and in more than one brand. If it is not sitting there, walk away from that chambering no matter how sweet the rifle is. And one more thing while we are talking cartridges. A handful of states only allow straight wall cartridges for deer, so check your own state's regulations before you spend a dime, because the rules differ state to state and they change. Number 4 is the opposite kind of mistake. It is a rifle that looks perfect on paper and still beats you out of deer. Number 4, the featherweight mountain rifle bought by a fella who hunts out of a ladder stand 150 yards from his truck. The catalogs love these. Skeleton stock, pencil barrel, 5.5 pounds, built for a sheep hunter climbing shale at 10,000 feet. And you pay dearly for every ounce they shave off, sometimes hundreds of dollars a pound. Now, here is where most folks go wrong. Weight is not your enemy in the deer woods. Weight is your friend. A stand hunter carries his rifle for 10 minutes and then holds it steady for hours. That little wisp of a rifle wobbles offhand like a willow branch in the wind. And worse than that, it kicks. The lighter the rifle, the harder the same cartridge shoves your shoulder, because there is nothing there to soak it up. Hold on to that shove, friend, because it is the seed of the whole number 1 problem, and we are getting close now. So be honest about the hunt you actually do. If your boots stay inside a quarter mile of the truck, a plain 7 or 8 pound rifle will outshoot the featherweight every single day of the season and leave money in your pocket doing it. Buy the boring one. Boring fills freezers. Number 3 is the newest fashion at the range, and it is the heaviest mistake on this whole list. Number 3, the long-range target rifle pressed into deer duty. You have seen them. The chassis stock, the bull barrel, the little bipod folded under the front. A scope with a turret the size of a soup can, 10 or 11 pounds before you even add a sling. On a shooting bench, ringing steel way out there, those rifles are a pleasure, and I will not say one bad word about the folks who love that sport. But the deer woods is a different job. In the poplars and the swamp edges where our Wisconsin whitetail live, shots come inside 100 yards. They come quick. They come standing, kneeling, or twisted halfway around a tree trunk. That bench rifle balances on your shoulder like a fence post. The magnification sits cranked so high you cannot find a moving deer in the glass. And by the end of the first drag, the sling has cut a trench in your neck you will feel until Christmas. A young fella packed one into our camp 2 seasons back. Strong kid, fine shooter at the bench. He went home empty, his shoulder went home sore, and Dad's old 30-30 never left the rack in the corner. If that one stung a little, stay with me, because the last two are the expensive ones. And number 2 is not one rifle at all. It is a treadmill, and the industry is quietly counting on you to stay on it. Number 2, the upgrade you did not need, also known as the caliber of the year. About every 18 months, a new cartridge rolls out, and the magazines and the sponsored videos all agree that your deer rifle just became obsolete. Flatter, faster, sleeker. And a man who has killed deer for 30 years with his .270 starts to feel like he is walking into the woods with a musket. So he trades. New rifle, new ammunition, new glass, new zero, $1,000 turned over to kill the same deer at the same 80 yards. Friend, the whitetail has not changed one whisker since my dad was a boy. Same lungs, same heart, same short stretch of timber between you and him. What changed is that a new chambering sells new rifles, and there is no money anywhere in telling you the old one still works. That is not a conspiracy. That is plain commerce, and once you see it clearly, the ads lose their teeth. Now, if a new cartridge truly solves a problem you actually have, buy it with my blessing and enjoy it. But buy it for your reasons, not theirs. And that treadmill runs straight into the biggest regret in the American deer woods. Number 1, the one I have been promising you. Because this last rifle does not just waste your money. It teaches your own body to betray you. Number 1, the big Magnum for whitetail. The 300 Magnums, the Ultra Magnums, the shoulder cannons sold as insurance in case the buck of a lifetime steps out at 400 yards. I understand the thinking. Nobody wants to feel undergunned on the hunt of the year. But here is what actually happens. First, that 400-yard shot never comes. In my part of Wisconsin and across most whitetail country east of the Mississippi, deer die inside 150 yards and most inside 80. 150 yards, friend. That is the far end of it. Second, the ammunition costs 2 and 3 times what the common cartridges cost, so the Magnum never gets practiced with. It gets 3 shots across a truck hood in October and a spot in the safe. And third, that rifle kicks like a bad-tempered mule. Which brings us at last to the part I promised you at the top of this video. Because that recoil does something to your body that you cannot feel happening, and it follows you to every rifle you own afterward. It has a name, and once you understand the mechanism, you will understand half the missed deer in America. It is called a flinch, and here is the mechanism told plain. Your body is smart and it protects you without asking permission. Touch a hot stove twice and your hand pulls back before your brain gets a vote. Recoil works the very same way. Every time that Magnum slams your shoulder and cracks past your ears, your body writes it down. And after a box or 2 of shells, your body starts protecting you before the shot. In the last split second, right as the trigger breaks, your shoulder shoves forward, your eyes snap shut, and the muzzle dips. It happens faster than you can feel it. You never see it because the rifle is already jumping when the bullet leaves. All you see is a clean miss on a broadside buck at 80 yards, and you blame the wind or the scope or the deer. Now here's the 30-second camp test, the one the old-timers ran on us kids. Do this at the range. Keep the muzzle pointed down range the whole time. Treat every rifle as loaded, always, even when you believe you know better. Hand your rifle to a buddy. Have him either chamber 1 round or close the bolt on an empty chamber, and have him keep the choice to himself. Settle in and aim at the target like it is the buck of your life. Squeeze the trigger slow. If that chamber turns out to be empty, watch what your crosshairs do at the click. If they dive toward the dirt, there is your flinch, out in the open where you can finally see it. There is no shame in it. Half of every deer camp has one. The cure is a cartridge your body can afford to practice with, and honest practice until the click stays quiet. My dad killed more deer than any man I ever met with a light-kicking 30-30, and the deer never once asked him what he spent. And that right there is the kind of thing Dad and the old timers handed me for free. And I put 101 of them in Donna's Whitetail Bible so they do not die with the men who taught me. It is $17 right now, marked down from $47. That is less than a single box of Magnum ammunition, and it will do more for your freezer than any rifle in the store. If you hunt hard and still eat tag soup, this book was written for you, friend. Now go ahead and grab your phone and open up your camera, the same one you use to take pictures. Point it at that square code on your screen and hold it steady for a second. A little link will pop up, give it a tap, and it will take you straight to the book. And if you are watching on your phone right now, the link is waiting for you right down below in the description. Take your time. There is no rush at all. I'll wait right here. So there it is, 6 rifles that empty wallets and freezers, and the 30-second test that drags a flinch out into the daylight before it costs you $1. Now it is your turn, friend. What is the one piece of gear you regret buying? Put it below. We have all got one, and I read every single one. Next time, I am going to show you how to tell a scrape a buck is visiting in daylight from one he only checks at 2 in the morning. Because on your trail camera, they look identical, and one of them is worth your whole season. Keep your wind right and your coffee hot, and I'll see you in the woods.